Are you my new tea partner? Huh? You gonna do a tea tasting with Mama? Are you pretending to be Daddy? So here is our tea from Red Blossom Tea Company, Lishan, Formosa Oolong. And it's from Lishan, Taiwan. Tasting notes: gardenia, sugar cane, and fresh cream. I am intrigued. Oh, I better turn my temperature down. It says 185. And trying to get the glare off of it so you can read it. Taiwan's third highest elevation tea region. Exquisite oolong. Bright notes of gardenia and sugar cane with buttery texture. Oh, this is going to be good. Did you decide it's more comfortable that way? Hey, Miss Tizzy, wake up. Hello? So we've been trying to do tea tasting different, where we just record our chattering rather than going over my quick notes. The videos might be longer, but that's what we're trying to see if it interests people more that way. So there's my first peek. I'm down to 189. I had my water too hot. It's supposed to be at 185. I'm sniffing the dry. That's what we do first in our tea tastings. It smells good. It's different. This is a very expensive tea. It's a beautiful balled, not like balled on your head, but rolled up into a ball. I love watching these teas unravel from a small ball. So what did you think the dry smelled like? Yeah? Well, what do you think it smelled like?
Well, when I very first smelled it, I almost felt like I caught a fragrance of something floral. But then the more I sniffed it, as much as I could sniff it.
Did you read the package?
I did not.
Okay.
Then I wasn't sure what it smelled. It almost smelled like vegetable, flower, or something. Don't know.
Well, I first thought vegetal. That was my first thought. But then when I tried to figure out what vegetal, I couldn't figure out a vegetal. So I kept sniffing and I closed my eyes and I just thought for a while. And then I decided it was fruity. And you don't eat a lot of fruit, so you have trouble identifying fruits. And so I'm thinking it is sweet, and fruit is sweet.
It is.
But it's very subtle sweetness, not like when I smell honey. When I smell honey, it's very sweet smelling, but This is a subtle, like a fig, is what I decided.
Okay.
And then I was still trying, there was just something else. And so I came up with a nut. I think it smells nutty, but not like a hard nut, like a nut that's been creamed, like they have nut butters of various flavors.
Right.
It's like a creamed nut. So I was trying to make myself pick a nut, and so I picked almond, kind of like almond butter is what I ended up going with.
Okay.
So it's a fruity almond butter, figgy almond butter.
So you got fig, yeah.
Figgy almond butter, nut butter, figgy almond nut butter that's been creamed. So these teas are lightly oxidized, which is why they're more on the greener side. So we need to have 185 degrees, and my temperature's back down to that. Oh, look at it. You can tell it's green. I can tell it's green. How fun is that? Hey, we have a very, just like it said, a light color. And we're getting ready to smell the wet. This was only like a 20-second steep. Well, that's an interesting smell, but I'm not going to tell you until until you smell it. So I'm going to smell it one more time. I think it's changed from the dry a little bit.
Smells like vegetable.
Like vegetables, you think?
Yeah.
I'm picking up floral. I mean, okay, so I had said fruity and nut. Let me smell for fruit. Nope, no fruit. But I still am getting a tad of the nutty.
Well, I get a tad nutty sometimes.
You do. I get to live with it.
You're the girl lucky.
So I smell flower. I'm not sure what kind of flower, but I smell flower. It's gone from smelling like fruit to flower for me.
You may be right about that, because that's originally what the first thrust I got was flower.
Going to do my photo op so you see the color along with the tea in the cup. Okay, here we go. We're going to taste. So we taste for body first. Oh, that's an easy one. Well,
Ultralight.
Ultralight, yeah. Now we taste for astringency. Non-existent. You can't shake your head. The camera can't hear that unless you want me to point at your face.
No, please don't do that.
Okay.
So I would agree with that.
Zero astringency. It's not smooth. It's just no astringency. Okay, now the tough one. What's it taste like?
Gee, I hope.
We don't. We're gonna have to brew more. So remember, you got to do taste and finish with this little bit of sip left.
I think it has a kind of a fruity, flowery taste. It has a drying finish. I don't have any mouth-watering thing going on.
I get creamy butter, which kind of goes with the nut butter. And the package actually says sugarcane, gardenia, and fresh cream. So I'm getting the fresh cream. Yeah, so buttery, creamy, which goes along with the nut butter is what I'm getting.
Yeah, it took me a bit to get that, but I'm agreeing with that. The more I sip it,
The more you sip it, you're getting the creamy, like
buttery thingy,
or milk cream, or yeah, which is a bakery spice, which is the bakery category. And for finish, I put airy and soft, because and it's got a little bit of lingering of sweetness on the sides. That's what I got.
I got the lingering aspect. I didn't get necessarily the sweetness.
This is a great spring tea.
It is.
Or a summer tea. All right, second steep. I'm gonna let it steep a little longer. I always start with 20 seconds. He said, why do you do that? Well, because some teas, if you steep them too long, they are too astringent. So I have to start with my happy place and get the taste of the tea without it tasting bad, I guess you could say. And then each steep I do it for a little bit longer. So we're gonna do like 40 seconds maybe, since this is very light and it doesn't have any astringency. The package says 2 minutes, but we'll work up to that. We got to looking at the guy walking down the street and everything else, and my 40 seconds I think went right on by. We're probably more like 2 minutes. Look at the, I'm gonna grab one of these. Oh, look what we got here. It's like a stick with the balls on it.
Stick ball.
Isn't that interesting how that was rolled up? So it's a little bit darker, kind of more of a golden color. So we're gonna see if it's changed at all. Might as well pour it all in. You ready?
Yes. What do you think? I'm still thinking.
Okay, now that you thought about it, what do you think?
Well, I think it tastes much more potent and heftier somehow.
But what's it taste like?
I'm losing the creamy thing.
Yeah, lost the creamy.
I'm not sure what I'm
agree
getting.
with that. So I think it's got more astringency.
Yes.
Yeah, which is why a prime example why I don't go to 2 minutes right away, and I slowly work myself up, because once you steep it longer, every other steep, no matter how short they are, goes to that flavor. But actually, I recognize it now as floral, and I am not a big floral tasting fan. I actually am not a big I love flowers in my garden, and I love smelling them in my garden, but I don't like them in candles, and I don't like them in other kinds of smellies, and I don't like them in teas either.
Okay.
So it's a very expensive tea for something I'm not crazy about. It was okay when it was the buttery, like a creamy oolong.
Right.
But now we've turned into this, I guess, gardenia.
I don't think it's going to be a forgiving tea either.
Yeah, it's not forgiving. It definitely, you steep it too long. It's not bad.
I think it would maybe better served if you steep it longer with a little bit of sugar.
Yeah. That's why I always say that I try to get teas that don't require sugar, that are nice astringency. I do like a little bit of astringency, but not too much. And if I have to put sugar in it for it to taste good, then that's not healthy for me. Right. But we can try steeping it again and putting some sugar in it. Or let's steep it a third time and see what it does, and then the fourth time put sugar in it.
Test the theory.
Ready? Had a little excitement with the police across the street, so our tea's gotten cold. But here's the third brew.
The third brew.
I managed to not let it steep too long in the middle of the excitement. So what do you think? Has it changed? Oh, it has changed.
Yes.
For the better.
Yes, it's not.
Yeah, so the astringency's better. It's not so bad. The floral is not so bad, and I think I get the creaminess back.
Yes, I think so.
It's like it's changed. It's like a well-blended of all the senses that we had before. They're all there slightly. Very interesting, isn't it?
A circle.
It's still on the stem.
It is.
It's hard for me to imagine that in this little ball of stuff is stems as well.
Yeah.
Okay, fourth steep. I like that we're getting a lot of steeps out of it. We did not do sugar since the third one was so balanced. Oh, we've gone back to,
yeah,
like the second one.
It's like a yo-yo.
You keep saying spinach when I have the camera turned off.
Yes, it looks like spinach.
Well, but you can't go by what it looks like.
No, you can't.
Is that what you're tasting?
No.
I'm tasting floral.
I'm not sure what I'm tasting.
I'm
yet.
tasting floral. So what would you rate it?
I am not fond
He's
of it.
making funny faces.
Yeah, I am not
It's
fond.
really expensive tea for funny faces.
Well, I wouldn't spend the money personally.
Yeah, I wouldn't
this
spend the
tea.
money. Like I wouldn't be in a rush. I might buy it again
I don't-
because it's an experience, and the more times I have it, the more I might like it and appreciate
well, maybe
the
it's,
premium quality of it.
maybe it's an acquired taste.
But it is floral, and I just don't like florals.
I am currently
So how many hearts?
not. 2 and being kind.
2. Yeah,
Yes.
of being kind.
We would have to put sugar in to see if there's any noise.
Okay, well, let's put sugar in it and see. Need to pour some?
Yeah.
So I had to spoon out a bunch because I can't hardly get any water in my gaiwan. It's expanded too much. I guess I put way too much in there, so I'll learn that for next time. So with sugar, let's see what we think. Well,
It's palatable.
yeah, tastes good though. It's taken out it's counterbalanced all the astringency.
Yes.
So I gave it 3 hearts because, let's see, I said I might buy it again because the more I drink it to experience the premium tea, the more I might grow to like it, but it's too expensive to try it again anytime soon, other than, what I've already purchased. I will keep brewing it. It's not totally horrible, but being a floral, it's not something I gravitate toward or really want to try again, but I would have to be intentional with an open mind to try it again. Sound good?
Sounds reasonable and fair.
Gave it 3 hearts. I didn't want to give it 2 because I've actually had teas that I have trouble swallowing, and I don't have trouble swallowing this one. It's okay.
Fair enough.